Hi. So here I am with the Weirdie of today, the 4th of January. And I've been busy. I made the video of the one yesterday and everything, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy about that. And I'm ready to go on this one. So yeah, I'm in a good mood. I actually got some meds for my congested asthma attack that won't go away because I've been sick so many times with a cold, so it just developed into an asthma thingy. And I got some really nice medicine today that actually, like 2 hours after I took the first pill, I already feel better. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. So I'm feeling a lot better. I have a more ease of breathing, so I'm happy with that. And definitely a good thing that I finally called the doctor. And I'm looking forward to color this one. I've picked out some more of my Letraset Pro markers. I'm going to expand a little bit on the range that we were using yesterday, just to get some more colors in there, because I do like that. So I'm going to be doing that. And I will be sharing the video in a short while. Hello. Yeah, well, I'm feeling better already. It's going to be 9 days with this the pills that I'm on. So that's going to be good. And it really does lighten up everything, so I feel a lot better. But anyways, I'm going to be coloring today, and we're going to have fun. And I will be sharing the video in a couple of places. So if you don't have your Weirdie for today already, the link to get the Weirdie of today for free is in the description of the post. So go get it if you don't have it. It's set is 0+, so you can grab it for free, or you can give a little tip if you feel like it, but not necessary. Only if you feel you can. And we're going to be coloring this, and I think it's awful fun. I love that I see a face here and I see a face here, and I think this is going to be cute and funny and very colorful for sure. So I'm just going to take 2 minutes to share it to a couple of groups. And if you want to share it, feel free to share it. Just don't share too many places. Maybe like 2 places could be cool. We don't want anybody ending up in Facebook jail for sharing too much. So here we go. I'm just going to share mine, and then I'll be right back. And I will be coloring in a second. Oh, that sounds great, Rose. Nice to see you. Awesome. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Just going to share, then I'll be here. So I'm back. Yep, always good thing to share. The more we share, the more people will see the Weirdie a day, and hopefully more people will join us in this fantastic journey. A whole year will be a long journey of a Weirdie a day. So we're starting with a month. Hi, Heather. Awesome to see you. So we're starting with a month, and then we'll see where it takes us. So I'm just going to reorganize the pencils here. So that I have them in the order that I want them. You can see it. I had a little accident. My tripod is like a little bit broken, so it fell down before. So I got the ankle got screwed up, and yeah, it's one of the legs that is not really well attached because it's sort of being annoying. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It will be good again. So I added a canary yellow that I want to put in here between the lemon and the yellow. I think it will fit in there. We'll see. Then I also added the gold because, well, this is not the metallic gold. This is the one they just call gold. Hi, Beverly. Awesome to see you. So I'm adding that too. And this is actually the orange from before. This is a bright orange. There was a mandarin. I couldn't find any other orange. Let me just see if there is one, because I'm trying to sort of make our selection a little bit bigger. This is ginger, and there's this honeycomb. They don't really seem so orangey, I think. Just looking if there's something I could add as an orange. I could, of course, add something from another set. You know, I could do that. And maybe we'll add one of these. I'm just gonna swatch it on a piece of paper here. If they are orange, I want to know if it's orange. This is sort of maybe a dull orange. That was the ginger. And this is the honeycomb. Nah, I don't really want any of those. I wanted something that's a little bit more bright. Bright, I like bright oranges. So there's not actually, I've been looking at my sets and there's not a lot of oranges. This one is a very bright orange. So I just want to see that compared to the two other oranges that we have here. This one is definitely darker. And this one I think is even darker. So yeah, then it would be in this order, then I put him in there. And then I want to add some more red. I have these. Red, rouge, and then there was this berry red. I just want to see, this is a red one. Yeah. I'm just like, you know, like swatching quickly to see which ones is the darker so that I know which order. And this is a new one. I wanted to add the berry red. That's definitely the darker one. And now I have that sequence here. And I'm actually thinking that that is okay with those three. And then I got that pink here, and I got that magenta and the mulberry that I'm gonna put in again. And then I'm adding some more purple to my selection. It's gonna be quite a big selection here today. I just thought it could be fun to have even more colors. Well, you know, I love a lot of colors, so you're getting used to me with that, I think. So I'm just gonna grab these and get them out of the way. My trusty tiger markers. So yeah, that was the reds. And I was thinking that there should be something in between the pink and that one. So I'm going to see if I can find even another one in my little selection box here that I think could go between the red and the... This is hot pink. I think hot pink should go here, probably. And then I wanted something maybe more in between the red and the pink. Crimson. Ruby. I actually like that ruby. I think we'll just take the ruby and put it in there as well. Burgundy. This was plum. I think plum will go here. And we're going to put that ruby here. And I think we got that selection cut out. An aubergine, I don't. There's one called orchid here. And this one is called fuchsia. I think this fuchsia pink is gonna go in here. And then I want to have added those purples. I'm not gonna add a lot of greens or blues, just two of each. And in my purple selection, I have this one that's a little bit lighter. It's called orchid, and I have this one that's might be slightly darker than that. It's called amethyst. So I'm gonna switch that up You see here, that's a violet, and that's a purple. I'm gonna do this here, mauve there, and then I think between those two, I'm gonna go from amethyst to this. I wanted to get more purples in there. Definitely, I'm getting more purples. That's for sure. It's gonna be a huge set of colors now. For this one, it's gonna be enjoying color explosions like crazy. So I have two more blues that I wanted to fit in. Have to see what they're like. This is called cyan. This is the basic one always. And this one was called China blue. I wanted to see that. Oh, that's a lovely blue. I think that this is a good one. So I think that it's gonna go like this here. And then I got two lighter greens. Well, the lime green I had in the set before, so I took also a bright green. So that means that we got 4 greens in total. So that now I got them all set up. There's quite a lot, but I think it's going to be fun. That way we get to play with a bit more colors. And so I'm going to just start with my yellows. And I think this time I'm going to like start here and here, and I want to go here. I want to save those hearts for some pinky or red, you know, maybe all those red shades, and could be funny. So I'm starting there and there and there. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to start here, and then I am gonna, where am I gonna start again? Yeah, I think I'm gonna start down here. Gonna go here, and probably I'll go with these right there. So now we got like a few starting points. Not a lot, because I want to see where it takes. Sorry, where it takes us. Good thing I got the medicine. But it already helped, so it will get better. So I'm gonna go for the next yellow. I think I might have selected too many colors, but we'll see where we get, where it will take us. It'll definitely take us somewhere. Maybe we won't go through the whole selection, but I just wanted to try some more colors to see how far the set can go. And it's annoying. I haven't been coughing for like 2 hours. I've been having dinner and I was drawing a bit and watching some telly, just chilling with my daughter. She had a play date today, so she actually was home a bit later, so she had fun. It's always nice when you start in school after vacation to see your friends and hang out, and she's been missing some of them. I mean, not that there was a lack of play dates while there was the Christmas holidays anyways. I mean, she's always a busy camper. I mean, I'm amazed at how busy she actually is. It's quite crazy. It's such a little person, but she's very popular. She's they're always calling and asking for play dates, and you know, I guess I'm really lucky that she's so social, because I was never like really, you know, I got bullied in school. I was so afraid, you know, that she would have problems when she would come to school, and especially with her looking a little bit different than other kids here, because her dad is from Ecuador, so she's more exotic maybe. But there's no real difference. There's so many children that are mixed in some way, so there's no real difference, and she's totally popular. She's like very very well liked, which I'm very happy that she is. Exactly, because I was so afraid of, you know, kids can be so mean, and I experienced that when I was a kid, because my mom would always move, so I would always be like very shortly in a school or in a place. So when I first came, I would be bullied for being the one that was odd out, you know. And then when I finally started making friends, my mom would move again, and I would have to switch schools again, which was pretty annoying. But you know, you learn and you get harder skinned, you know. So everything in one way or another always works out for an advantage. So I'm happy that I got these pills from the doctor. So I'm going to be on them for 9 days. First 3 days is 1.5 pills a day. And then the next 3 days is 1 pill a day. And the next 3 days is half a pill a day. So this is going to stop the congestion of the asthma and make me able to breathe again, which would be very pleasant. Because it's been really hard the last couple of days, especially if I move. And the problem is I really have to do the laundry. But, you know, I can't really go do the laundry if I can't get up the stairs with the laundry, you know. I mean, that's like, I have been down a few times, but just with the garbage or you know, and not having to carry anything up. But with all the stairs and when you have this thing, it's not doable with mountains of laundry as well, you know. That's why it's practical to have a washer and dryer in the house. And I had that in Spain, so I've never really, it was very nice. I never ever had mountains of washing to do because I already had it under control. But here I have to go down 3 floors to the yard and then go down to the basement. And that's fine now. I can walk down. It's getting up with all the heavy stuff up the stairs that is a bummer afterwards when you're having trouble with the breathing. It's not really very doable. But I'm thinking my dad wanted to give his friend money to do the laundry, but I have this, you know, I don't feel like somebody that I don't know well, okay, let's be honest, somebody that I don't really like because I got angry with her the other day. I don't feel like that she should be messing with my dirty panties, if you know what I mean. You know, I don't want to, I don't know what it's called in English. I tried to look it up, but I can't find the word in English. It's a binyrbark hormone. It's some hormone that you use against the severe asthma attacks. And it really, I mean, I took the pill this afternoon, and less than 2 hours later, I was breathing less troubled and I was feeling way better. So, I mean, it's really a kick, you know. So that's helping, and I think it will just continue to help and get better. Last time it helped. The thing is, I'm too slow at going to the doctors because I really hate the doctors. If I was a little bit faster with going to him, then I would get treated faster and it would disappear faster. But since I'm always waiting and thinking, it will go away and it's not so bad, and then, you know, it gets really bad because I don't go there. It's just, I don't know if any of you have that feeling that you just hate going to the doctors. I've always had it, you know. It's any doctor, dentist, doctor, anything to do with hospitals or medics. I'm just like, no, I don't want to go. And even that I know that I should, I still, you know, just don't want to go. So I'm really not, I tried to look it up in English, but there was no English translation. It just kept giving me the Danish word back. So I'm sure that there must be some word. I just wasn't able to find it online, what it's actually called in English. But it's heavy stuff. It is pretty heavy stuff, and but it's not, you know, I just think, I don't know. It's not like I can still have my glass of wine, so it's not that, it's not heavy stuff in that way. Heavy stuff. But it certainly works. And I know that from experience because I got it a few times before. I mean, usually it's once or twice a year that it gets so bad that I need to get it. And everybody always thinks, oh, it's your cigarettes. No, it's not, because I don't have this problem when I'm not, you know, like, it's like when the cold season is here and all the kids are like giving Victoria the virus with the home, then I get it. And then it just sticks with me. If I get a regular cold where people are usually just have a cold for a couple of days, then I will have it for like, I'll have it for 3 months and it won't go away. And then it'll just settle, and that's the way it is. So, you know, it will eventually it will get better, you know. Eventually. I like that. But it's been like that for the past 20 years. It's nothing new. So I've kind of, you know, gotten very used to it. That's also why it takes so long before I go to the doctor, because it takes a long time before I feel troubled enough by it that I feel like I need to go. Which is why the doctor sometimes when I get there, he's like, I can't even believe you're standing up. You're crazy, and you're laughing at the same time and smiling. I don't get you. I'm just like, it's because of, you know, I've been used to it for so many years. So I don't really, yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's a state of affairs. So yeah, that's it about my medical history. So I will leave that be now. And of course, yes, you are right. That would probably be better if I didn't smoke. But I'm a heavy smoker, and yes, as soon as I get the e-ciggies, I will make a real effort to try and stop. But not before that, because I'm not going to stress myself. I have enough stress as it is. Oh yeah, and I got really great news. Yes, I got good news. I was working hard. So I finally finished the covers for the Valentines. I'm making 3 Valentine's books, but it's actually going to be 4. And I finally finished with the covers, and I uploaded them, and within 24 hours I will know if I have to do any changes, and I am thinking that it will come out sometime here in February, not too long, maybe, you know, we'll see when the exact date is going to be. I will, of course, also make them available on the PayHip for those who prefer to download and print on their own paper. So there will be Valentine's. There's 3 books with 50 images in each. One is like patterns, and another one is sort of heart mandalas. Well, heart patterns, heart mandalas. So it's not specific Valentine's like that. You can, I mean, hearts are the whole year. You can also use hearts at Christmas and birthdays, and anytime you just feel like hearts, or if you're crazy in love or something. I actually drew these when I was in love with a guy that I thought was going to be my boyfriend, but since I haven't heard anything from him since the 2nd of December, well, except for like a New Year's message, then I'm thinking, no. But that's it, you know. Sometimes people disappoint you, and that's, you know, you learn to live with that. So I think here I'm going to go with that red here, because I had the other one inside there. So I'm just going to continue it here. Anyways, it's going to be interesting to see what the heart ends up becoming, because I don't know yet. Anyways, I drew these when I was just met him, and I was all like fluffy on the little pink sky and all that stuff. Not so fluffy anymore, so it's a good thing the books got done before. Anyways, I'll get, there's yeah, heart mandalas. There's abstract heart mandala type, but they're more like different shapes. They're not all mandala type. And then there's these patterns. So there's 50 images in each. But then I did this because some people hate mandalas, but they might like the abstract ones, or they might like the patterns, and then they can decide to just get the one that they like. But for those who just love hearts, no matter shape, form, and they just want the whole thing, I made one big one that contains all 3 books. So the big one will have 150 designs, and that's all those 3 books in one. I'll have to make really sure that I get people to realize that if they just get that one, they already have those 3, so that people don't make a mistake and get the other ones and go crazy for that. So I've put the other 3 covers on the back of the big one, trying to explain it and writing it. But we all know that a lot of people forget to write the hi, thank you. A lot of people forget to read the description on Amazon, and then you get complaints that it wasn't what they expected, or they don't see the preview videos or something. But I'm trying to make it really clear that, you know, that one, you get all 3 in one. And it's going to be a killer deal if you get the big one, because that one is going to be put at $14.99, whereas the other ones are going to be $9.99 each. So it's not even a 2 for 1 in the big one. It's you pay for 1.5 and you get 3. So that's a pretty good deal, I think, if somebody chooses to get the big one. But of course, yeah, it will hit my pay hip as well, where you still have that, I still have that discount, the social sharing discount turned on at 50%. So that's a pretty good one. And I'm happy to say that I also managed to upload the big book of spheres. So I'm thinking that probably tomorrow or Saturday that will be available on Amazon as a physical book too. So not only on my pay hip. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm even myself looking forward to holding it in my hand. And I promise when I get it, right now I can't order the proofs right now because yeah, I just don't have the money at the moment. But when I get it, I'll of course open it and show it to you so you can see it in real life. And I will try to order as soon as I can. So yeah, that's sort of what I've been doing. And yeah, I got all those videos up, the speed videos of these coloring sessions. And they are pretty awesome, I think. And please, you know, if you want, share them. The more people who see them might be interested in participating. And, you know, seeing the big videos that are like 2 hours, if you haven't been a part of the 2-hour show or commented and stuff, then that might not be as interesting as seeing a version where you see 2 hours and 2 minutes of coloring. So they're pretty, we want everybody to be coloring Weirdies this year. It's a color Weirdie day. We're gonna have fun with it. And yeah, I've been doing that. And oh, on my blog is there's been this crazy in the cryptocurrencies, like very heavy. The Steam just rose, like, so it doubled the value of, you know, everything that I have on there. I invest in Steam power it's a tactical thing. So everything there, and it's just like went up from more than doubled the value of the account in one day. But you know, it's been also, it went up and it went down, and that's what happens with all this crypto stuff. What I do is I promise myself that at least the first year I will reinvest everything into it so that I can get stronger on the platform. So I'm not taking anything out before until I can see that I have something regular there, so that there's something regular to take out while I reinvest in there. So, but you know, I haven't been very regular on making the blogs because here in December I've been really busy. Normally I try to make at least one a day. But now I'm at least putting these up every day also, and soon the cooking contest will start, and I'll try to get more done, like automatically fit it in with what I'm doing anyways and during the day. And try to get some content up on that. But it's really exciting to see, and I do think that it has a future. And it's so funny, everybody was like laughing at me when I started with it, like, oh, that's so stupid, nah. And now everybody's calling me and asking me for advice on crypto stuff. And I don't really have any advice to give. I just went with the flow and I tried, and I can't really advise anybody what to do because I have no idea. I just go with the flow, but I'm tactical in the way that I reinvest, even though that, yeah, I could use the money, but I do reinvest because I think in the longer run. Oh, you completed it, Linda. Awesome. I'll have to have a look. I've been putting up all the new ones that I find. So if you don't find yours in the album, it's probably because I didn't find it. So always, if you can't, on the Color Weirdie Day group, you can put it up straight to the album. You just go to photos, Then you click on albums. Then you click on the album with the January 2018 Weirdie's colored. And then you say add picture, and it will come down a screen where you can take the picture from your files and put it up there. So it's, yeah, if you haven't done it before, it's new. But if you've done it before and you get used to it, it's pretty easy. But if you can't figure it out, then it would be really cool if you would comment on that album with your picture, because then I'll grab it and put it up for you. Or just send me a message on my fan page here with a picture, and I will put it up for you. I try to do that. Sometimes I can't guarantee that it'll get up really fast, because there's a lot to do every day. So I try to update as much as I can. And I'm talking and rambling and talking and rambling. But it's okay. We're getting there. It's going to be pretty. So far, we are not. This is the last red, and then we're going to go into the pinks. So we'll see how far we get here. But I do have some prepared where we will be going, like, for instance, this will continue into the greens. So, you know, I have some areas that I left open for some of the other colors if this sort of fills up. So it's going to be interesting in the sections. But I really do love yellow, oranges, reds, and pinks. So I'm not, and I'm purples, and yeah, I just love lots of colors. So I'm sort of speed talking today. Wow, maybe it's this thing that I got for, I think it's some kind of adrenaline or something. Not like adrenaline like that. It's specific for this. It's annoying that I don't know what it's called. I was really looking it up. Maybe if I open, maybe inside, like, you know, if you open the tape on the pill container, there usually is some kind of description. Maybe it's there in English, so then I can look. But it's pretty okay. Looking good. It's sort of flowy and just the way I like it. And yeah, I really want to also start to draw more, and I would like to start drawing a bigger one, like a big one that probably, I don't know, I'll probably draw it live in sections, because, you know, I can't sit and draw for 50 hours in a row. That's kind of impossible with life going on and everything happening. So that's not gonna happen. But I do prefer to, if I draw it, then there is a possibility of getting it scanned if I can, so that it can come out as a poster, maybe on, yeah, either as a poster that you can go and have printed, or as a poster that you can get on a Redbubble. It's always cheaper to buy it as a poster from me as a PDF and then have it printed, because the Redbubble it's not expensive, but it's not cheap either, you know. And besides, I don't get a lot from it either. I maybe make $1 from a poster that you paid $29 or $30 for. So, you know, it's not like I make a lot on it. So I'd rather sell it for $5 on my Payhip and then get a little bit more from me. And then, of course, you also save in the expense, and you just have to go and have it printed. So I don't know, but we'll see, because it might be something like that. I'll draw it, and if everybody puts an interest in it, and I can see that I'll make back at least the money that it costs to have it scanned, because it's pretty expensive to go to the professional scan place and have it scanned there. So if I can see that I'll make at least the amount that it costs to get the scan back, then I'll make the scan. I have to be cost conscious on some things. I mean, I would love to send everybody my books, but I can't, because it's just too expensive. So, but that's why they are available both as a PDF and as on Amazon. So, I mean, there's sometimes in the giveaways, there's people who say, yeah, but I don't have a printer. Can't you just send me the book? I live in Denmark. Just the cost of sending the book would be more expensive than if you bought it on Amazon. So, you know, and I would have to get the book here first. I mean, there's a lot of things. I could, of course, maybe order it so that it arrived directly to the person's place, but you know, well, then I would be paying, you know, that's not very cool. I wouldn't never be able to afford to make giveaways then. I did have a lot of reviewers asking me, and you know, there's nothing I would love more than to give reviewers books, because I know that reviews are crucial and really important. But you know, there also has to be a connection. You know, if you can afford to send them out, cool. But if you can't, then that's just the way it is. And I know I review books too, and I know that reviewing a PDF is not. It does not have the same effect if you're doing a video. So I totally understand that the reviewers want to have the printed book so that they can make a video. But it has to be feasible to do so. And it just hasn't been for me. I did it at one point. I did send a reviewer a lot of books. And she did some awesome reviews. And I was very happy with the way that she researched the Global Doodle Gems, each artist that was in the book, and this was for Global Doodle Gems, not for myself. And but then she never finished because she wasn't feeling well, which I understand. You know, I mean, you know, if you are not feeling well and things are not going well for you, you know, then you don't have the same energy and you can't do that. So I hold no grudge for her that she could finish with the reviews, but that way, you know, I lost a lot of money on the books, and I just can't invest in that anymore. So I have to choose my battles. So I will review my own books. I will show them off, and you can see them, and I'll show off everybody else's books, and then that will be the way that I'm showing it off, because that's the way that I can do it. It's looking pretty neat, eh? I'm enjoying that. So yeah, I got a lot of things going on, and I got a lot of things. I feel really good energy because I was a bit annoyed with myself about the Valentine's books that I hadn't sort of, you know, finished, because I did finish the drawings like 3.5 months ago. So and the color team, the two colorists that actually colored for the covers, they finished way, you know, straight away when I gave it to them. So it's not for lack of having material. It's just because I was so busy with everything else. And sometimes you have to put something aside for later, and I know that putting Valentine's books aside for something later is probably not the best thing to do, because they should be out like 3 months before Valentine's. But you know what I think is this: it's hearts. It's not just Valentine's. It's not just about Valentine's. It's hearts. It's for the whole year. Hi, Yolanda. Here you are. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear you've been sick. I'm using, Yvonne, I'm using Letraset Pro markers. They're now known as Winsor Newton Pro markers, because Winsor Newton bought Letraset. Or they bought these markers from them, and now they are rebranded with a different name, and I think they're also developing on the brand. I haven't tried the new branded ones, and I'm sure that they're just as good, and it's the same resolutions and the same color codes and everything. So I've just had my collection. My collection has been building and building for a lot of years, and I have a long relationship with Letraset Pro markers, and I love them a lot. And I actually haven't colored with them for a long while because I had a lot of new stuff that I wanted to try. And now I just, like, you know, I was trying new stuff, and I felt like, oh, I should go Letraset a little bit, because I just love them, and they're nostalgic for me to work with, because I always work with them. So they're sort of, yeah, an old friend. I'm sorry, Yolanda, to hear that you're sick. I really hope you feel better soon. It sucks to be sick. It's annoying. So I hope, but you know, we are only beginning here. There's still a long time left before I'm done. I'm quite sure that this is not gonna be a very quick one. Well, usually they're never quick because I'm talking and, you know, I'm trying to follow your comments and hoping that there's something I can answer. And so this is more like a very relaxed coloring time. There's no pressure. And I made some new drawings also while I was watching telly, which I also love and I'm very happy with them. So I'm sort of, you know, I had a quite good day, even though that my day started bad because I wasn't feeling well at all, and I finally succumbed and called the doctor. Even though that, then, you know, the day has panned out to be quite lovely. And also, you know, you feel good when you get some of the things done that you feel like you should have done a long time ago. That feels good to me. I think here I'm going to do black around these just to emphasize them a bit more. So I'm going to continue this sequence here. And tomorrow is a Friday. Not that anything special happens tomorrow, it's just a Friday. It's the same day as everyone else for me. I mean, there's never really a big difference, but my daughter is always looking forward to Friday, so it's a candy day, and I think that there's X Factor or something that we have to see, so depending on when that finishes, maybe I'll be on a little bit later, but you know, maybe around this time is usually good, because then my daughter's in bed, my dad is in bed. Well, sometimes he's in bed, you know, you can never guarantee with that, but it's more quiet. Sorry. So this is a hot pink. I like the sound of it, so I had to try it. The pad. This is my blue pad. It's just a paper that I like to draw on. It's got heavy weight, and it's a very good drawing paper and reasonably priced also. But I sort of use it, as you can see, it bleeds through. A lot of the color goes through. So I sort of have it as underneath so that I don't damage this. I have to have these plastic things changed again, I think, at some point. Maybe, yeah. But I use that for drawing. So it's a good one. And I have them in all kinds of sizes. I actually have to buy a few more of the smaller ones. And that's why it's good that they're not too expensive, because I do draw a lot on them. So, and for the Twister Positivity Chill Pills, I need some more. This is lovely. This is a lovely color. It says hot pink, but I feel like there's some more red in it than pink. But I do love the color, so it's gonna be neat. Oh, and I still have the Christmas tree here. I'm like thinking, oh my God, what am I gonna do with the Christmas tree? Because, you know, one thing is taking everything off the Christmas tree. That's not a big problem because we don't have a lot on it. So, you know, taking the lights and the decorations off is simple, easy peasy. But I do have to get it down into the yard for when they have to throw out they will come and collect the old Christmas trees. And I mean, remember, there's been years where I didn't make it because, you know, I can't carry it down the stairs. And if there's nobody who can help me, then I kind of can't get it down there. And I hate asking. I know that there's probably a number of people that I could ask, but I suck at asking for help. It's really one of the things that I'm really bad at. Or I will ask like once, and if I get no, you know, people say yes, but I don't get any feedback later on when we're going to do it, then I don't ask again. So I'm not very good at that. Yeah, I'll have to practice on asking for help. Maybe someday I will learn. But yeah, so I'm having that dilemma. There was one year where it ended up on the balcony, because there's a balcony in my dad's room. There's two actually that he doesn't use. He just fills them up with rubbish anyways. So there was a Christmas tree that ended up there, and that got thrown out the next year's Christmas tree. So that was just, and I was almost about to use it the next year because I was thinking that it was really pretty. It was there without all the needles were gone and everything. So I was like thinking I could use this. This is pretty decorative. It looks pretty cool. But yeah, it was very dry, so it would have broken if you hung anything on it. So it was good to get rid of it in the end. I had a friend. When she had a very small living room. Well, not small, but yeah, it wasn't the biggest living room. And we had a lot of people for Christmas because she had 3 kids and husband, and there was a lot of people coming. So she hung the Christmas tree in the ceiling. The bottom was in the ceiling, and then it just hung like a spike down. Hi, Patricia, nice to see you. Awesome to see you. Yeah, this is what you have to remember. If you're like watching, for instance, on one of the channels where this video feed is shared, then I won't see your comments because I only see it on the live feed, because that's the only thing I can see while I'm sitting here. Because sometimes afterwards I see that in Adult Coloring Worldwide or Coloring Books for Adults or other places, there's questions, and I of course always try to answer them. And I also then try to recommend that it's a good thing to watch it here. Like when they see it, just click on the video and go over to the live feed, because then they can be part of the conversation and the little party that goes on, and I can answer questions real time, which makes it a little bit more fun than getting them like 2 hours later or the next day, where it's like sort of, oh, is she ignoring me or what? But it's just because I can only see the comments on the actual live feed from my channel. I think it's looking really pretty, yeah? Maybe it should just be called Pretty in Pink. But no, we will move on to other colors. You know me, I like to have a lot of different colors in. I started out when I was like, selecting these extra colors. I started out with like, I'm going to choose 4 colors and it's going to be those 4 colors on this one. But in the end, I ended up choosing like 12 colors to add to the colors that I was working with yesterday. So definitely not good at limiting myself, Everybody says, I also like, simple is, less is more. And I do believe that is true, especially when I cook and in a lot of things, I think less is more. But when it comes to coloring, I just can't seem to control myself and my eagerness to get all the colors in there. So definitely, when I go color, I go color. Not to say then I go totally opposite, where I do up art and it's all black and white. And people are like, whoa, it's all black and white. Everything's black and white. I forgot something here, so I'm just going to backtrack before I forget it. Always a good thing if you see you missed something, do it right away before it disappears from your mind. Things have a way of slipping when you are in the middle of everything. This is lovely. Yeah, I really feel that there's like this candy shop sort of bubblegummy feeling about it right now, which is not a bad feeling. Definitely not a bad feeling. Yes, I do shade and blend. I also do tip-to-tip methods, and I use chameleon pens, but today I just, felt like using colors. So today there's no blending. But I have quite a few videos where I'm doing the tip-to-tip method, or I will try to blend some more. I also try to do some where I only use grays or use colors and grays in order to shade. So I'll definitely, 365 days of Weirdie, so we'll get into a lot of things. We'll also get into colored pencils. I'm just taking it bit by bit, you know, slow. Because, yeah, that's the way I sort of feel comfortable, you know, not to do everything too quick. So I just want to go little by little, because a lot of the things that I'm using, not these, the Trusted Pro, those I'm quite, you know, I've been using them for 20 years. So, but for instance, the chameleons, where I have the full set, and I also have the color tops, and will be going into them. With those, it will be a learning curve, because I will be learning with you guys. So but I sort of like choose the colors or the set that I'm going to be using from what I feel fits with the actual drawing that I'm doing, and then I'll sort of go from there. And so if I see a drawing where I think, oh, this one needs to be shaded or blended, or this one needs to have this kind of effect or this kind of pencils, I sort of have, like, you know, when I sit down, also how I feel in the moment. That's also a big part of how I make the decision. So this one, I got that one, but I didn't get this one. So I have a little bit here also to backtrack. So in the moment, I sort of make up my mind, because I think it's important also how in that exact moment you feel, what material you feel like using. Because if I make a plan today that I will use this and that tomorrow, then maybe tomorrow when I'm sitting there, I'm not really feeling it, and then it will be forced, and then nothing good ever comes out of forcing a result. So I just take it very lightly, also because, you know, it's coloring. It has to be fun and colorful first and foremost, in my opinion. So yeah, but definitely I'm getting into all kinds of stuff. And yes, I drew all the pictures. I have also, these are also, you can get these every day, the daily I put up for free, but they are in a set of 12 books, the 366, there's one for each month. And they're also on PDF as full books, but I do try to make it available as a free download. It will be limited time, but this is merely because I want as many to be able to participate as possible in the Color Weirdie Day. And I do realize that some people might not be able to afford the books or afford to buy the whole PDF. So I'm trying to say, okay, well, you can grab that. Now the first month, I'm going to keep it available like a little bit longer. But when we get into the next month, it's probably only going to maybe be up shorter, so that you have a shorter span of time to get it in or something like that. But that's why I put them up, and I put them at 0+, so that people can add a tip if they can afford it and feel like supporting what I do. But it is also possible for those who really don't have any money to buy with, to be a part of Coloring a Weirdie a Day, and without speculating, you know, if they can afford it or not. So that's sort of the principle behind a lot of what I do. I want it to be accessible to everyone. I don't want it just to be for those who can put down the money, and, you know, I want it to be for those who can just, you know, who might be able to print it at home and do that. So that's how I sort of, that's why I'm giving them away in a way, because, you know, if somebody is on every day, then of course they will get the 366 Weirdies for free. But that's okay, you know. If, you know, what's important is that we're doing something together, and that'll be fun. So yeah, no, I shouldn't forget this one. This one was called what? Plum. I like this plum color. That's a nice purple. It's funny, you know, sometimes you discover purples and they're called aubergine or plum or something like that. So that is pretty neat. But I'll be exploring a lot of different materials while I'm going through these, and I'll try to not do, you know, too many days where it's the same kind of pencils or markers or something like that, because I do have a lot of difference. And I will also be trying some watercolors, but I think the watercolors and brushes and stuff that will come out, that will be next month, because I need to buy a blue pad that is A3 so that I can print it on, because you can see this one is A2. And with the watercolors, I want some watercolor paper, as that would be much better to work with for the watercolors. It's annoying if it all crumbles up. So so that definitely, but I think that will be in February. That there will be a big chance that there will be some watercolor action going on. And I'm also going to be going into some pastels. I have some nice pastels, both as pencils and as you know, the other kind of shape berries. I don't know what you call that. Yeah, chalks. I do like. I like the fact that they have made a lot of sets where you get the pastels in a pencil. First of all, I like the way that you can sharpen it and get in close, but I also like that you're holding it and you don't have all the dust all over your hands and all the colors, and you're not smudging it about as much. You have a better chance of actually saving it. So I kind of like that, and I have a few different brands that I want to try, and maybe I have a Derwent pastel pencils, and I have the Koh-i-Noor pastel pencils that I really want to try. So I have some different things. I will also be digging out the Holbeins again for sure, because they are just awesome, and it's a fun set to play with, especially the pastel-y colors of them. They're really great. So I will be digging out lots of different materials and exploring what you can do with them, and it will be evolving in the time of coloring these. So I will probably also evolve my my skills a bit. You know, I might get to become a better colorist. I mean, what I usually have done when it's colors, well, I color my big pieces, and there I've used these Letraset Pro markers. That's what I've used mainly on my big ones. Now I have a bit more to choose from, but mainly that's what I've been using, and which I'm very happy with. So I'm just gonna see here. Oh yeah, and we're gonna go on, and I found even more shades of purple, because I wanted to, you know, we were talking about yesterday that there is so few shades of purple in some sets, and you feel like, I could use some more purple. And it must be something about the pigment or something like that, that the purple pigment might be more difficult for them to develop. Or so this one is called Orchid, and the other one was called Amethyst. Yeah, you can see this one is much clearer. It's a much cleaner bright purple, or you know, like light purple, than the other one was. So when it dries up, immediately when you just lay it down, I think it feels like, you know, it looks like it's the same, but when it dries up, it's a cleaner color. But close in the shade, I don't know if you can see it here. Let me put it up a little bit closer so you can see the difference. It dries up much cleaner. I like that. So we'll probably get to see that as soon as it dries up really well. So I have, I think I've published probably, I think there's an album on my page. It's called Books by Me or something like that. And there you can see all the books that I published so far. Hi, Kimberly, nice to see you. Hi, Rose. Exactly, a lot of sets you can, or you can see the name and you can see some color, but then when you use the color, it's a total different one. That's why I always use my color companion every time I have a new set. I make a color chart for that set so that I can see what the real colors are. And that's where, you know, some sets, they don't have like names on the colors. And that's really annoying. That's really annoying. I think I'm gonna go for doing this one here. This is pretty neat. But I always make swatches, and I use, yeah, the color companion. But you know, you can use anything. You can even find swatch templates online. But of course, mine are great. I have to say that. But no, I'm also working on making some new ones that will be working like more with specific set sizes. But yeah, I have to find time for everything. So some of my projects get slowed down a bit. So the hearts turned out to become purple with the flow of this. And his eyes up here are becoming purple. It's pretty neat purple, this one. It's called Purple. Yeah, whoa, it's called Purple. Finally one that's called the name that it is. Purple. I like that. It's a nice color. Very vibrant and clean. I think so far this is shaping up nicely. It'll be funny when we get to the blues and the greens, which we will soon. How complete it's going to be looking. And yeah, the fact that I'm going to be going through a lot of different sets will also get it, you know, you'll get a feel of would you like the colors in that set, or, you know, so hopefully, you know, you'll also get to know about some of the different sets that you might not have. And if we get some neat guest host in, we might get to see some of the sets that they have that we don't have, that I don't have, you know, so that would be awesome. Or just see how they work with it, because I have a few coming in that are really great colorists also, and great artists, so I'm hoping that that will be good. That we will get that set up. But right now it's me. Right now you just gotta deal with me coloring Weirdies and my flat coloring at the moment, but we will get more and more into effects, because there's a lot of drawings that will call for more effects. More effects. Do I say that funny? Maybe I do. Effects. And here we go. So this is the last one. Is called Violet, and that was the one that I actually considered more blue yesterday, I think. And there was one green. It was almost on the last, or was it this one? I think it was this one, yeah. Today I'm liking it better, but I think it also, you know, with the color, it depends which color it's pitted against, which one is set next to. That means a lot to how you see the color on the paper, your combination. That's also why it's great to like test on different things, where you can see two colors next to each other, or see next to a few different colors, so you get an effect of how they play well off each other or not. That's a big thing to color theory as well. I did go to art school, so I did have an awful lot of hours of art theory and color theory, color development, color this and color that. So definitely I will be able to get into a lot of that. Depends when I feel like it. You know, I don't want to be like, it's not going to be a classroom with the exercises and stuff like that. I'm not into that. It's more like, you know, we're going to have fun and, you know, maybe, you know, pick up a few things on the way um, of what I talk about. Maybe you can use it, maybe you can't. You know, we all have, you know, the real thing about coloring is also finding your own style and your own, what you prefer, both in materials and in the way you color. You know, because of course there's lots of great effects that you can make with lots of things, but there's also a lot you can do with the little things. And I think that sometimes it's very interesting to see what you can do with actually also cheaper, smaller things. Um, but of course, it's always exciting with the big, lovely things like the Holbeins and the chameleons. Like that's like, whoa, interesting. But it's nice to see that you can do some of the same things with the cheapest markers around. You don't need to have the best. This one is really, really going down. Too bad. I think I think it will just survive, and then maybe if it makes it to another round, which I actually don't think it will because we have so many colors, then I'll probably have to use the chisel tip, and then we'll be okay for another round with it. But it'll probably be its last round ever. So sad. I don't want to say goodbye. Please. Please. But he's definitely, I must have used him a lot on some bigger drawings. But these actually hold up pretty well. This is a Letraset Pro marker, and you have a felt tip here that is pretty controllable and can get into easy tight corners. It's very controllable. It's a hard nib, not soft or brushy. And then you got the chisel in the other end. Yeah. That you both can do for very light detailing if you use it this way, or you can do broad strokes with it. I don't recommend doing too much broad strokes because it can get more streaky quickly. Letraset Pro Markers is this brand, but Letraset Pro Markers was bought by Winsor Newton. So now to find these markers, they are branded differently and they will be called Winsor Newton Pro Markers. And they also made, this is some alcohol markers, but Winsor Newton also have a water-based, well, they actually Letraset made the water-based first, but Winsor Newton built a lot on it. So the Letraset Pro markers, and usually here they're much more affordable than a lot of other ones. They're not cheap, but a lot of places they've had like offers where you get like 3 for 2, or you know, offers like that. So they are, but they're not refillable, which is what kind of sucks. It would be nice that they were refillable. These are like once they're done, they're done. But they're very, very good markers, very reliable and very long lasting. You have to think that some of these markers have been lying here for at least 7 years. So yeah, I think the last time I got a new marker in this set is maybe 5 years ago, maybe. It's a long time ago. I can tell you that. It was before I started Global Dual Gems, because when I started Global Dual Gems, I never had any money left because I spent everything I had on making Global Dual Gems. Any extra I had went straight into that. So yeah, it's a long time ago. And all the newer sets you see is mainly been gifted to me. So I'm lucky with that. I got some awesome gifts. So that is always something. I like this. So yeah, so the collection of the Lettres set is something that I've built up for years and years. And I actually did give quite a lot away. To my friend Johanna, I gave her some of the ones that I had doubles of. Because I thought that she should try them. Because they are very nice to work with, and she also has colored so much for me, so I kind of, I owe her to try to share the ones that I have with her, and I try to do that as much as I can. She's a great colorist and a great artist, and she will be on hosting for you guys at some point, for sure, and you will get to see her awesome skills live. Hi Tina, nice to see you. Så ja, Tine, ved du hvad binyrbarkhormon det hedder på engelsk? Jeg har ikke kunnet finde det på nogen. Jeg prøvede på at slå det op på Google, men jeg kan overhovedet ikke finde det. Sorry for speaking Danish. I was just like asking a question to Tine if she knows what that medicine I got is called in English, because I tried to look it up on Google, but I can't find it at all. It just comes up with a Danish word for it, which is not really helping. So yeah, anyways, I got that medicine today, and I think it's already helped heaps because I can breathe again, and I feel way better. So that's a good thing. And it's really nice to. I was so congested in the end today that I was like, after I walked Victoria to school, I was like. Oh, and it was just, that hour, because you have to call the doctor here between 8 and 9 in the morning. And it was just like 5 minutes to 8. So I was like calling every second to be first in line. And even though that I called like right at the ring, like when the bell rang 8 specific, I still was in line as number 4 and waited 20 minutes to get through. So yeah. Some people have a timing down even better than I have, but it was great, and he knew what the problem was, because it's not the first time that I have it. It's twice a year, so he just right away gave me the medicine. He just called it into the pharmacy so I could go get it and go home. Victoria had a play date, so I could actually, go get the medicine and take a good rest, and then feel a little bit better. It's that fast that it works, so that's really good. I'm really pleased with that. This is shaping up. It's shaping up really nicely. And so I'm happy about that. And I made Victoria's friend, he was having pizza, and she was like, "We're having pizza." And I said, okay, so I'll make pizza too. So, and I have like a special pizza, because Victoria doesn't like the tomato sauce, and she only really wants cheese on top. So there's nothing really pizza. Yeah, cheese is pizza, but what I do is I make a special puff pastry pizza. So I buy this pre-made puff pastry, and one roll we can have actually 2 pizzas out of, because none of us eat very much. So, and it's actually very, you can get it frozen or fresh. Usually I always have it frozen in my freezer, because it's a great thing to take out if you just got people coming over and you didn't, plan anything. So, and what I do is that I just put it on a baking tray, and I put like a little bit of melted butter. I brush it with melted butter, and then I just take Parmesan and I grate it finely. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. And I sprinkle that over that buttered puff pastry, and then in the oven for 10-15 minutes, and you got it. It's easy, and it's cheap, and it tastes really good. And it's just easy to make quickly if you need something that is delicious. And so we have that, and then steamed leeks with butter and salt. So that was pretty nice. I ate the steamed leeks. Victoria looked at the steamed leeks and said that she might try them next time. Not the first time she did that. This one is the cyan, and I can feel this one I've used a lot. I know that. I mean, I know that this is one of my cyan, magenta, and there's like a few colors that I use heavily. So let me see. Is it time to scroll? And no, I don't have enough comments to even have to scroll. Everybody's being very quiet. So I'm just sitting talking with myself like a loony, which is okay. I think, yeah, I'm fine. Maybe I should read that description in the meds so that I see if that's why I'm so in a good mood. I don't think so. But it's like, yeah, 9 days, 10 pills, 1.5 the first 3 days, one the next 3 days, and a half the next 3 days. Then I should be all set to go. Let's hope. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it will eliminate it, so that I'm thinking, that I'm gonna have to go tomorrow to H&M and see if I can find some cheap leggings for Victoria, because it would be nice to wait with the washing until I can actually make it up the stairs with the washing again. And it won't be that long, so if I could get like maybe, they sometimes have like two pants. In the boys' departments it's always cheaper. I don't know why. It doesn't matter because she always wears boys' colors anyways. There's nothing that's called boys and girls' colors in her world. She prefers black and blue. So she's not a pinky girl. No pinky, no red. She's like a black and blue and gray girl. But that's her. And she actually, one of the things that she really loves is to oh, that's great. Thank you, Patricia. One of the things that she really loves to do is to wear her football clothes. She kind of collects these football outfits with the t-shirt and the shorts. And then she'll wear leggings underneath or a long sleeve shirt underneath, but she will wear her football clothes. She's got like Barca. Her favorite is Messi. And now she's got Neymar as well. So she's just like all the other little boys in school, except she's got long hair and she's kind of pretty. But she's definitely a tomboy. There's no two ways about it. She's not a girly girl. But I like that, she plays with everyone and has fun with everyone. So that's a great thing. And her football clothes is so much fun. I think it's because, she loves her dad and she doesn't see him a lot. If she sees him once a year, it's a lot. So she doesn't see him or hear from him a lot. And she knows that he loves football. That football is like, whoa, a biggie for him. So because she knows he loves football, then she loves football. And she's all in on the football. She doesn't watch football and she doesn't play football, but she's all in on the football clothes. And she even like, why can't I have football shoes? And I said, because they're uncomfortable to walk in. They're made for playing football in. They're not made for like walking around. So yeah, she's like that. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I was thinking to go like maybe get those like 3 jogging pants for the price of 1. Then there's enough, because she has everything else she has is just the pants she's run out of, because she's grown out of the ones that she had, because she have a long legs, very long legs. So so it's just that, so if I can get 3 pants, then we'll make it until I can be well enough to make it up the stairs with all the washing and go up and down, and then we'll sort of wing it from there. So I think that's the plan, because I'm definitely not letting my dad pay his friend to wash my clothes. I mean, that would be so uncomfortable. Really, I would feel uncomfortable with that. And then I'll try to look around, you know, I'll try to ask my friend. I have a friend who's really good at finding things people throw out a lot of things, even though that they're not broken. Yeah, she likes to be comfortable. That's why she doesn't want to wear dresses and she doesn't want to wear jeans because she thinks they're uncomfortable. So she's definitely a comfy girl. And now she just got some new really cool hats from my friend in Ireland. He had brought her like a hat with a black hat with the 9 3/4 station from Harry Potter written on it. And she's just digging that. But then when he was here, he'd been out buying some presents to take to his family in Ireland when he came back. And then he saw like another black hat, you know, like a knitted hat. And it had the V in the forehead. And it just, you know, that's Victoria. So he bought that one for her. And she's like, today when she was going to school, she looked so cool. Really, really cool. Very hip. In her own style, you know, like she had a black t-shirt on with a golden dragon and then a gray hooded jersey jacket thing and black jogging pants. So, but she's, you know, she's chill. And he had also bought her new shoes that are those kind, you know, like from Skechers with all the colors in them. But he had thought about how she was, you know, like, and he had bought them in total black. So they just fitted with her whole outfit, and she looked so proud at how cool she looked. It was really awesome. So she was a very happy camper this morning, dressed to the sixes, her style, with the 2 different socks, of course. And she also dumped the pantyhose things. Thank you, Cindy. Nice to see you. Yeah, she's styling. She's got her own style going. The same when she dances and stuff. She's just got her own little thing going. She's got a lot of character. When she was in kindergarten, they were supposed to do like that's this parents' day in kindergarten where the parents come and then the kids put on a show. And that year they had put on a dance show. And they had been practicing this dance show for a couple of months. And Victoria, she talked to me because I wasn't going to be able to make it because I was working in a daycare after thing. So I wasn't going to be able to be there. So my cousin and her husband went to be there. And she told me the day before that, you know, they'd been rehearsing this dance thing, but she had another plan. They were all going to be standing with their backs to the audience and be dancing to this song. But her plan was that she was going to turn around and do her own moves. She had practiced her own dance moves that the kindergarten didn't know about. So she had worked out her totally own dance to this music. And yeah, when they were doing, my cousin told me, and she was laughing, when they were doing this show and there was like 20 kids standing with their backs to everybody dancing this, you know, these planned moves that they had practiced for a couple of months. Then my daughter just turned around and did her own like funky dance, totally out of the blue. That was really funny. That's her. She's got heaps of personality, and she's fearless somehow. You know, she's scared of a lot of things, but in other areas she's just totally fearless because there's not a lot of kids who would just do the opposite of what everybody else was doing and just do that. I mean, I'm sad that I wasn't there and it wasn't recorded on video. I would have loved to see that. And I was like telling her, but why are you going to do that? And she said, no, because, you know, what we've been rehearsing is boring anyway, so I want to do this. And I said, well, go for it, you know, I mean, go for it. Why not? You know, be yourself and do your own thing. And nobody's to stop you from being you. And I didn't think that she would actually do it because when you're standing there and everybody's doing the same and there's so many parents looking on, I would think that you would maybe change your mind. But no, she didn't. She had it planned out and practiced. Pretty cool girl. Yeah, so I'm pretty, yeah, of course, yeah, every parent is proud of their kids and they'll talk about them like they're made of gold. You know, every kid is made of gold. for their particular parents. So that's the way life is. IUS, the med? No, I don't. I don't know what it is. It's a hormone. It's called Binurbach hormone. But I tried to look it up, and I can't figure out what it is in English because I don't get an answer. It's something specific for like when you have severe asthma attacks that won't go away, and it's only for that. I've had it a few times before, and it's always worked really well. Yeah, like maybe once or twice a year it gets so bad that I have to have it. But good thing about it is that it's not expensive. Because that's why I get so bad in the first place, because I'm not taking the meds that are preventive of the asthma. Because they cut the help on that. There's no more help for that. Because they're saying that it's not life-threatening. Well, I think it's fucking life-threatening if you can't breathe. So, you know, we have difference of opinions in that area, I think. Me and whoever makes health... but, you know, at least there is help for some medications in Denmark. I mean, that's more than there is in other countries. And we do have a free healthcare system. So in Denmark, we can't really complain. I mean, that would be spoiled of us to complain about, because it's so much worse in a lot of other countries. But of course, when they change a little thing, you know, everybody gets upset. So I think I'm gonna flow this one down here. Yes. I think it's gonna be a fun one, this one. And soon we'll be backtracking up here and backtracking here. So there'll be something to look at. Before we start the next round, I will be filling that as well, so that we'll be moving along. And as usually it's getting along. It is a kind of steroids. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. It's just the thing that the doctor gives me when it gets so bad. And it really helps. I mean, you have to be, you know, I can't even open the box almost because it's so secured. And you only get in the box like 10 pills. And yeah, it's very precise what you have to take. But it really helps. I mean, just imagine, I was like this morning thinking I can't do this no more. I couldn't breathe, and I was like, I couldn't walk 2 meters, and it was really horrible, horrible, horrible. And I was like coughing myself out. It was like, you know, I was afraid I was going to start like coughing blood or something. It was really bad. It was really, it is bad. When I call the doctor, it is like at the stage where I'm really, really bad, because I'm so bad at calling the doctor. I don't really like him. Well, I don't like any doctors. So anyways, yeah, and he gave it to me. And that was nice, and he was not being difficult about it at all. It was his suggestion that I get this. And he was like, do you want to come up? And I said, no, I don't need to. I just really want to take it and just like rest, because Victoria had the play date, so I had some extra time where I could sort of rest. And yeah, and it was 2 hours, and I'm like feeling so much better, so much more like you know, alive again, without being so troubled. And so yeah, it's a good thing, but yeah. So I'm just hoping that it will take it all away. And he's just like, yeah, I have to look out, because if there was like an infection or some virus and it's not gone, then it can make it worse. But I'm pretty sure that there wasn't. I haven't had a fever for a long time, so yeah, I'm confident that this is good. So It's gonna be pretty. I'm gonna be loving it. And now I'm thinking, oh my God, I didn't put enough green. But you know, I think in the end it will pan out with the colors. You know, I'll just have to give it its chance. This is that bright green. I must have used that a lot also because I can feel that that one is not, it's not a happy camper, the bright green right now. But it will make it, you know, for what it has to do here, it will make it. So there's two that I'll have to let go of. And that's really what you should do, let go of them when they're not like doing it no more. And I always forget to do it. And then the next time I open the set, it's the same. But then I feel like I can just make it another round and another round and another round. So yeah, sometimes, you know, you can also use the chisel because it might have retained a little bit of, so here we go, this is lovely. It might have a little bit more color inside of it. Did I already put it here? I might have. I might have. I think I did. So I'll just put it away here. Let's see. And my dad was even feeling better today. He does have to, well, okay, so we'll just continue this one here and here, and I'll continue it here as well. So we get that started like a party. So yeah. But it's awesome about the Valentine's books because I was like thinking, oh, I'm never gonna get it done because I'm just never finding the time to get everything done that I wanted to do, and I felt like, oh, but I finally got it done. Finished those covers and set up the books in InDesign so that they looked good, and I have to look through them again now. You know, I've uploaded them and I'll sort of get, then they're locked down for 24 hours. And after 24 hours, I'll get a message if there's something in the files that is not fitting. You know, like for instance, I might, with the one of them, I might get a message about having to change the cover because I think I used my regular cover template. And I don't think that that template is fitted for having 150 pages inside the book. But 150 pages. And that's what there is in one of them. So I think that I might get a message that I'll have to adjust the cover so that I adjust the I don't remember what that's called. Yeah, I don't remember what is it. You know, the back of the book. I have it right on my lip. The word, the back, the spine width. I have to adjust that. I think on one of them at least, because I think the template I used was I made for 50 pages, which is 106 pages more or less. And there's 150 single page designs in there. So that sort of equivalence that, now I'm backtracking, that equivalence that, you know, 300 pages if you look at the description. So I think it's not good enough. The spine, yeah. Yeah, so I might get a message about having to adjust that. But, you know, I'll just see what happens. And then I'll do any adjustments that needs to be done. So, but at least I finished doing those covers. They've been like, I don't know, there's just something lately about me and doing the covers that I've been like, just not as inspired as I used to be, I guess. Now I'm gonna try to see if I can get a little bit more out of the chisel one on this one because he is very dry. So I'm just gonna. But the chisel is a good place to go if you run out on the other end, because it will usually, the tip there will be retaining a lot of fresh. If you never used it, it will be covered in some ink. that hasn't flown to the other side. So yeah, that's that one. And we need to backtrack at least once more here. There it needs to go a lot backtracking to get that full range. Okay, this one I don't need to do it with. Oh, I'm just getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, it's not all of these that are happy canvas, but at least they done their part. So I'll have to be on the lookout if they ever get the other ones on offer. Or another good trick, I mean, this is a mean trick. It's not really mean, but it's like, you know, if you look out for the shops, art shops that are closing down, it's nasty to look out for somebody else's bad, but you know, then you might be able to find good offers a lot of the times because they'll have to put everything down for the sale. But there's not a lot of art shops that are closing down because art is great. So I'm just going to backtrack a bit more on this because I want that part to sort of play out. Because this is where we continue with the new round with the yellows. So I just want to make sure we get this one in here because it's been waiting since the very, very beginning. It's been waiting for us. It's been feeling so neglected. So now it's getting like all the attention. So I'm on steroids. That sounds scary, eh? Why didn't my doctor explain that? Okay, but he knows my feeling about taking medicine and pills. He knows I hate it. So that's probably why he didn't tell me that. Well, I could probably also just read it. But, you know, sometimes, you know, I just take it the way I'm supposed to take it. Because if I read all the information and all the possible side effects, and then I'll just get nervous and I won't take them, and then it won't really help if I do that. So when I know that it's something that's worked for me before, and I didn't get sick before when I took it, I don't see a reason to read all the info again, because then I'll just start hypering about, ooh, maybe it's not good, maybe I shouldn't take it, and this and that. So yeah. I think it's gonna be nice. I'm so happy that I'm coloring these weirdies because it's so nice, because I was always, when I was drawing them, I did color a lot of them before, when I just drew them. But I was always thinking like, oh, this one will be fun to color, and this one will be fun to color. And I was thinking that with each and every one. So, you know, just doing this project, even for myself, is just, it's cool to get to see them be colored. And now finally, I think, if not tonight, then tomorrow for sure, because now I did the other stuff that I had to do with the books. I will scan them, and if the colors turn out right, I'm definitely gonna put them on Redbubble for stickers, you know, because they look so funny as stickers. They also look really funky on t-shirts, and I wanna try to like make like a big bedspread, you know, like a Nordic, the duvet you put outside of the warm cozy thingy. I wanna make one with all the different weirdies once it's done. Can you imagine like a bedspread where you have 366 different weirdies colored? That could be kind of, you know, I can size them, and, you know, I make them into PNGs so that I can make one big pattern where I can, you know, just buff them all on, and you have a duvet where it's like full of just all the different weirdies. Not like a repetitive duvet where it's like the same one repeated again and again, or the same 5, but all of them. That could be so awesome, I think. So yeah, I really want to do that, but that'll be in the end of the year when they're all colored. But, you know, I could start working on the spread. You know, I could set up a template for it, and then you know, calculate how many spaces there would be and this and that. because that way you wouldn't be doing it in the end, and then have it as a working file where every time I have a new scanned Weirdie, I can put it on the spread. So that would be an epic spread, wouldn't it? Like, you know, have a bed spread like that. That would be really cool, I think. I think that would be awesome. So I think, yeah, I think I'm going to plan on doing that, because if I do it every day, then as soon as the last one is on, then it will just be to put that last one on there and then put it up. And then there would be an awesome Nordico duvet with all the Weirdies in color. They would, of course, have to be neutral. I mean, I would make one with a different kind of backgrounds, I think. You know, you can change the background to whatever color you want, because when I put them up as PNGs, it won't be a problem. Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I'll have to, you know, I'll have to make that schedule thing that I'm keep talking about, so that I can sort of write down some of these plans. I have to make like a brainstorm, because sometimes, you know, I get the plan in my head and then it's kind of, you know, then I forget about it. So I should have it written down somewhere, what the plan is to do, because I think that would be awesome. You know, like a nice culmination. I mean, the stickers is nice, but a spread with all of them, that would be pretty unique. Yeah, I'll do a section on my Redbubble that is just about Weirdie's Color Weirdie a Day section, where I will put different stuff that can be played around with. So yeah. So this is a daily show, the Daily Color Weirdie Show with Maria, your host. That is fun. This one is nice. So it's spreading out, and now, you know, it doesn't seem so dominated by the yellow, orange, red, and pinks. So, you know, it does even out when the other colors come on. So I'm happy that I did this huge. Yeah, there's a lot of colors. I haven't even counted how many colors I've got out for this, but I think that that's kind of funny, you know. If you have the colors, also that way I get used a little bit of all of them, so that I'm not just using the same all the time. And they will last me longer. They will last me for more drawings. I'll be totally, like, after this year, if I'll even make it through the year, I'll be totally dry. There will be not a marker left with ink in the house. It will be dried up, all markers dried up. But, you know, eventually they dry up anyway, so why not use them and have fun with them while they're there and while you're there? You never know. So this is the backtracking. I need to backtrack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So we'll actually be in here. So this is going on to the purples. This was the violet that also was drying up on me, and of course that's a big one, so I think I'll have to go in with a chisel to make that, just, you know, especially here. But I think we'll get a nice colorful result. And I also really I was looking at the Sassel with the puzzles that they have. That looks really cool. But I have to find the right, because I'm thinking, you know, these wouldn't fit for puzzles, because, you know, there needs to be some background, so that it's just like, not like, you know, one background and then you have this puzzle inside and you have to put all these pieces down that actually have the same color. That's boring. But I'm definitely, one day I'm going to try to make one just to test it. Also because I love puzzles. I always loved puzzles since I was a kid. Big puzzles with as many people with as many pieces as possible. Hi, Kimmy, nice to see you. You're going home. That's so lovely. 13th. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing your results, Kimmy, and I'm so happy that you're going home. That's really great. Hi, Beverly. Thank you. I think it looks good too. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kimmy. That's nice. I think, you will have to get the one for tomorrow because the one for tomorrow is one of my favorites. And I have to find something great to curl him with also because he's just a choppy, funny, funky little dude. You will love him. You will love him. I think I'm in love with him. Since I drew him, I was in love with him. He's just like such a chubby, funny little one. It will be fun to color him. And I think on him, I might go a bit on maybe trying some either graduation or tip to tip or the color tops. It depends how I feel like. I don't want to commit myself too much because if I feel different tomorrow when I'm sitting with it in front of me, then that's the way I'm going to go. I always go for the feeling of the moment because working with what you feel in the moment is always what's going to give you the best results. Instead of forcing yourself to do something you might not be in the mood for anyways, or hyping it up or something like that. Or maybe I could also try to do the Holbein pastel set on him. That would be probably pretty neat. That sounds good. I will be thinking about that because those pastels are so lovely. And they're so clean colors, they're so clean pigmented. So they're a dream to work with. Really enjoyable. And enjoyable to look at. It's just like Candyland. So yeah, I'm going to be thinking about that, which way I'm going to go. Now I have a few ideas of how I might want to do it. But he could also be fun in just a couple of colors, but there's a lot of space on him to be colored. A lot of space. So this is awesome. I'm loving the flow of this one. And as you can see, you can turn it either way and you get something different. I mean, it works this way and it works this way. However you feel like holding it, whatever makes the most sense to you is the way to go. Because once you start on the drawing, like the Weirdies, take a few moments to look at it from the one angle, then turn it around and take a look at it from that angle, and then go from where it makes most sense to you, where you feel that it fits the best with what you see or what you are inspired by in the drawing, and that's where you go. And then disconnect and just relax and chill with it. I really hope that if you look at the colored albums, we are seeing a lot of beautiful colored. Really awesome. I'm so happy that you guys are sharing your colored with me, and it's so awesome to put them in the album. And I hope that it's okay that I put them in an album. I do write your names. It's not everybody that I can tag. I think you have to actually. No, I think if you just like the page, I might not be able to tag you, or maybe you have some settings that does that I can't tag you, but I will write your name. I do write colored by and then your name, and if I can tag, I tag, because it's important that everybody knows who colored it. So this is lovely. So we backtracked. So this is our backtrack thingy. It's going down in the order of things again, going back in the order. So that was fairly good. So now we're starting over with the yellow, and we are moving on. And this will, it looks like it's a never-ending story down here, but it's not. I promise you, it's not. We will get there. So we're going with the lightest yellow here. And there's actually just going to be 3 yellows there. And I was actually thinking that I'm going to switch up 2 yellows here. I'm going to switch up these in the order because I think that one is darker. So I can do that. That's a decision I'll make. I could try to write down a list of the colors I used and the order that I used them in, so that you have an idea. If that's interesting for you guys, I could do that. I mean, it won't take me that long to just make a list of the numbers of colors that I've used in the sequence. If anybody feels that that would be useful for them. I don't know how useful it really is, because you might, when you color, feel like a different sequence fits you better, or some other colors or whatever. But I can try to do that. Here, right there. And here. Here we go. So we're well ahead. And rolling. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32 colors is the total of what I've got going here. So 32 colors. Yeah, he's cool. He's already up there. Number 5 is already up there. When I finish, I'll put up the banner for him for tomorrow, and I will put up number 6. These markers are the Letraset Pro markers. They do not exist anymore as Letraset Pro markers, because Winsor Newton bought Pro marker, and they're now called the Winsor Newton Pro markers. So it's still the same markers, but they just have a different name, and they're from a different brand. And Winsor Newton is a very, very good brand. So they will continue the high standard of these and develop on it, that's for sure. So I don't have any of the new ones, because I've had the set for a long time, and I've been building on this set. I think the first set I had was like a set with 48, and I've been building on it, and that was like 20 years ago. So that's a long time ago that I had my first ones, and that was when they also had the little fine liner tip in the end, which I really loved a lot. They went away from that, but it's probably because the ink didn't really flow to it a lot of the time, so it didn't really work as intended. I mean, it did work for me, and I liked it, but I think it was not as reliable as it should have been, and that might be why they took it away or something like that. I don't know, but that's a lot of years ago. And now I'm just using them. I'm using them. But you know, if they lie in the box, they don't get used, and then they'll dry out eventually. So better that I'm using them, and you get to see the lovely colors. Then I'm just hoarding them, and we'll have to throw them out, not having used them. That would be more sad, I think. I think I'm gonna go with this yellow here to continue that flow. That's a good one. So I hope you got that, Kimmy, that was a Letraset Pro markers, but they're now Newton and Winton Pro markers. So these are obsolete. Well, not obsolete, because the new ones are the same. They just have prettier, they look more updated, but I think they've continued with the same formulas, and they will probably be adding colors and adding new stuff to them, and so they will be developing on this awesome product to begin with. So that's where you have to look for them now. Winsor and Newton. And I do love them. I love the whole set. So well, I've never had the complete because as always, you know, there's also colors that you don't use or that you don't like, you know. I'm a bit OCD that I like to have as many colors as possible. But one of the reasons was that, you know, that I got so many was that they had a sale, and I had my bestie, she wanted to give me the chameleons, and they turned out to be dry when I got them from her because the shop had put them in the window in the sun. That's clever. Clever. Duh. And so I gave those back because she had bought like the first chameleons that were out, the first chameleon set. So when I gave them back to the shop and they had these on offer, I could add quite a lot to my collection with them. And that's, yeah, but that's like 4 or 5 years ago that I added to that, maybe not. I think it's 5 years ago. Yeah, they're very vibrant, they're very happy, they're very clean, you know, they look like very clean colors. But of course also I try to choose the clean ones because there's lots of pastels as well and darker colors in the set. So it's a very satisfying feeling to look at them, because when you're coloring, some of them might seem a little bit dark or dusky, but once they dry up, they're very clean and bright in their colors. So it's very enjoyable to look at them develop while they're drying as well. So yeah, those are definitely. But you know, I have the same feeling of the cheap set with my tiger markers. That is the most affordable one. And they don't have as many colors, of course, but the colors they have are great. And they do also dry up very bright and beautifully. And I do have my perfect rainbow thing in them. It's just not as many colors as here, where this one I could even expand and make this like 50 or 60 different colors to go. But then I would need a drawing with a lot of smaller spaces, because otherwise I wouldn't be using the whole sequence. So I was even afraid that I wouldn't get to use the whole sequence on this one. But it's worked out very well in the end, because I was like, when I started, I was thinking, oh no, I choose too many colors for it. I went overboard and outdid myself and chose far too many colors. But I can see now that I didn't. So I don't know if that's many years of experience or if it's just a blind luck. Most likely the latter. Most likely the latter, blind luck. You know, and then of course I planned to make it work that this would be opposite, so that, you know, that I would know that I would get into those colors. So yeah. And that I did because I was afraid I wouldn't make it to all of the colors. So yeah. But they seem to be very consistent. I don't always see that it's exactly the same colors outside, but it never will be. Also, you know, what you might see on your screen might look different than what I see on my screen, because it also depends on the screen quality and resolution. So, and then again, if you're working on, for instance, on Photoshop and you have picked out the perfect color that you want, then once it gets printed, it depends on the printers and the inks that they're using and everything, what you get out as a result, and it might, you know, not be what you saw. I had that happen a few times where I was like, oh, but that was not the color I used. But it can differ a lot. That's why you never should go with those, you know, the digital pre-made color charts. Yes, they'll come pretty close. But if you have two different screens, then you will be able to see what I mean with that it can be very different from one screen to another, what you actually see in the color. So you can't count on it. That's why you can only really count on the color charts you make yourself on your own colors. And the best thing you can do is to make those color charts on the same paper that you prefer to color on. So that means, like, you know, for instance, if you're using my color companion, or if you go and print out another template from somewhere on the web, then print it on the paper that you will be using the media on, the printed on the paper that you will be using those markers on. And if, for instance, you're going to be using watercolor, print it on the watercolor paper, print it on the marker paper, you know, the exact paper that you'll be using, because it will react differently towards different papers and you will get different results. So it's the best trick I can give you to get the best overview of the true colors that you have. And besides, it's nice to get to know them a little bit before you start actually putting them on paper in what you're working on. So that's my tip to you. Make your color charts and have fun with them. It doesn't have to be boring, you know. I, for instance, made a lot of where you can sort of just compare them next to each other or work out which ones really play well off each other. Because one color might look really ugly next to another one, but if you place another one next to it, then the two will just play each other up and it will be brilliant. So that's why it's good to make little testy things. Maybe I'll go through one of the companions just to let you give you an idea of how I do. And then you can draw up your own. It's not difficult, you know. If you feel like it, you know, you can also draw up one that fits exactly what you need. So yeah. It doesn't have to be mine in order to be working for you. It has to be whatever works well for you. And that might be making your own. I mean, for me, it's always been making my own because I never could find any online that I found fully satisfactory. So I create my own. And then I thought, well, when I'm creating my own anyways, why not just create them so that other people can have use of them as well? And so I did. So yeah, this is pretty. This is pretty awesome. Yeah, this is going very well. It's got a good flow, and you can see now it's going faster down here because I'm finished with this whole section up there. So yeah, we'll definitely have a long video as usual, and it will take forever to download and make into a speed video. So you can see the speed version tomorrow and enjoy it and share it with your friends if you like. Get more people in on coloring a Weirdie a day because it's fun, and you're not, you know, like being a part of Color a Weirdie a day does not mean that you have to color a Weirdie every day or that you have to color while I'm coloring. You can just hang out and have fun and color something entirely different. Doesn't matter, you know. It's about having sort of a fun moment, and then you can join in when it's possible, and you can join out when you can't. That's why it sounds fun, join out. No, but you know, like, you can also, like, you know, if there's a particular Weirdie that you really like, then you can join in on that day. There's no rules to how this game is played. It's just a matter of having fun time, and yeah. Hi, Danny, nice to see you. Yeah, I think it's looking very awesome. I'm very happy with it. Oh, this one goes down here. So I'm gonna have like a little of an issue here, so it's okay. It's okay. But it's not right, but it's okay. We'll fix it anyway. So that threw me. So I've obviously done him so that he should go down here. So that's what it's gonna do. And then I'll do a backtrack here. And then that sequence will just stop down here. So that's okay. It's already fixed in my head. My little OCD moment just got fixed and blown out. And then of course I'll have to take some black and do that afterwards. Today we didn't do any gold details, so it would look weird if I took the gold and put it in there. So this is neat. I mean, I could of course have ignored this, but I don't. We will also do somewhere we will ignore lines and stuff like that. But since I do print them this big, it's just easier. So I do recommend, you know, just trying, you know, like if you have one and you think, oh my God, the lines are too small, I hate it. My eyes don't like that small lines. Then, you know, try to have it printed out in the A3 in the double. I don't know what that is called in the US, but, you know, the twice the size of the US letter size. And you will, you know, try to work with that, and then you'll see that you can have a whole other level of fun with it also. I do this because I like the size and because it's easier for the camera and for you guys to see. If I had to put the camera closer, if it was half the size, you know, then, you know, the camera would get very close. My hand would get in the way all the time. It still does get in the way. But, you know, you wouldn't be able to see as much. And I would be hitting the camera with a marker, and yeah. So this way works for me. And here I'm going to backtrack, just so that you know. I'm going to backtrack a bit. So yeah, it's going to be a happy bubblegum rainbow kind of weirdie. Almost. And this is little insane. That would be fun. Okay, so yeah, I've got that. I got it. I got it. So I'm going to backtrack here with this one. That's the one that's going to go in here. And I think I'm going to do that there too. Because I think that was the one it was at anyway. So and then we also get a nice finish on the red here. And I'm going to do it here. So yeah, quite a day. And I don't know if you noticed that I don't sound as bad with the wheezing and the coughing. It hasn't been that bad today, I think. So yeah, it's a huge relief. And I think it will only become better in the following days and next days. So I'll start to be on top again and feel my right self and, you know, get over my slight depression of, well, you know, being sick and then also feeling like you're being ditched or something. It's not a good combination. Especially not if you're a diva. Come on. That's just not right. So anyways, yeah. And I think this one has to go here. Yes, it does. That was the one for here. So we did our backtrack pretty neatly. And this one we already did, so we gotta go up and grab one from up here of our 32 colors. You can post your weirdies whenever you want. There is no rules to when you post your weirdies, Kimmy. Whenever you feel like it, whenever you finish, there is no rules at all. You color your weirdie when you want and you post it when you can. So no problem at all. I feel loads better, Tina. Good night, Danny. It was nice to see you here. And your result was awesome too. I loved it. I always love your results. They're gorgeous. So yeah, definitely, Kimmy. Never, you know, there's never any rules in my book. The only rule in my book is that we're nice to each other. If we're that, then everything else everything else doesn't really matter that much, you know, timing or, you know, there's no, as long as we just have a good time. And you know, if you post the 1st of January and the 1st of February, it doesn't matter either, you know. The most important thing is just to try to, but if you've gotten them and printed them from the freebie, then you will have the date of the Weirdie will be on it, which will help a lot with saying which day it is, because it's always nice to know which book it's from and which day it is, and so that others can also relate to, oh, it's from that, or you know, so that is nice. But never too late to post a Weirdie, you know. Posting it in 5 years' time will also be fine. You know, hopefully there will still be people coloring this Weirdie in 5 years, or in 10, or in 20, or even when I'm dead one day, you know. That could be cool, you know. Couldn't that be cool if, like, in let's say 50 years time, when my daughter has grown kids, that her kids are coloring my work, you know, their great grandmother's work or something, you know, and other people are coloring it, and you know, maybe, you know, you never know. Maybe one day, you know, in 100 years, people will still be coloring my drawings. That's like, that would be the most amazing thing, you know. That would be, then it would be a great success. But it's possible. I mean, the books don't go away, do they? They stay on forever. So, you know, maybe even that I'm not really selling a lot now and I'm not making money out of it. I'm just more like, you know, creating and building and doing this. Who is to say that maybe my daughter one day, maybe one day she will get good royalties from it. You never know. Maybe I've built her a future. You can never really tell. So that's why, you know, some people say, oh, you spend too much time on it, and if it's not paying you a lot of money, then you shouldn't be doing it, and this and that. I'm like, it's not about that. It's about, if you're creative, you have to work for it and get out there, and there is no, like, you know, it's not like you're gonna make millions overnight, but you know, you're doing what you love, you're doing what you feel passionate about, and I love doing this, and that way I actually have a very satisfying work life because I'm doing what I love. And sometimes that is very important, you know, and people can also feel if you love what you do. You know, everybody can feel that you love what you do and that it matters to you. And sometimes, you know, it might be better to just be happy and maybe, you know, just only have just for what you need, than have everything and be sad. I try to have everything. I try to have lots of money. I try to live a life with the luxury and all this kind of stuff. And that was nice. You know, it was nice to go to Michelin restaurants and stay in 5-star hotels and travel the world. It was lovely. Yes, it was. But was it satisfying? And did it give me more value in my life than my art does? No, it didn't. It gave me a financial freedom to actually do my art back then. You know, it gave me a bigger possibility to actually go in and work with my art. And I have to say that if I hadn't had those years where I was financially very well off, then probably, you know, I wouldn't have been able to get so deep into my art and develop as an artist. So that financial freedom gave me a freedom to be a creative artist. So in that way, you know, everything plays together in life, and everything plays a role at some point in your life, and you just grab the possibilities that there are when they are there, and you work with with the cards that you're dealt. And yes, definitely, if I hadn't had that freedom, I wouldn't have had the freedom to have my own studio, workshop where I could just, you know, I could go buy all the paints I wanted and I could buy all the materials I wanted back then. I could buy the canvases and set it up, and I could paint, I didn't have to think about anything, you know, and that was lovely. Now, you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing big oil paintings. That's because I just can't buy the big canvases and stuff. And if you're living in an apartment, you need to sort of to have a closed off area for oil painting. Also, when you have a kid that will touch it. So, you know, well, she won't do that anymore, but she would when she was smaller. So that's something you build up. And okay, all those materials I lost when I moved back here, and I sort of, you know, started life over. So I also lost all the work I did. That's more sad than the materials. The materials, you know, eventually you can get them little by little, and if you can't, then, you know, it was only materials, but the paintings, the drawings, all the work, it was a lifetime, you know. Well, it's not a lifetime, but, you know, it was still 15 to 20 years of all my work that was, you know, that is lost or ruined or, yeah, gone. That is a bit sad to think about. That can make me a bit sad sometimes. But it's life. You can't, you know, you just gotta roll with what happens. So now we only got that little tiny one here left, which is gonna be awesome. Which is gonna be awesome. And I think I'm gonna roll with it here. So this one I'm just gonna backtrack for those two colors, and then I'm gonna go forward there. Just so that it has a consistent feel to it. And I love this one. Let's just see, that's a mulberry. I love the mulberry. I love the mulberry. The mulberry is awesome. And then in the end, I'll just have to do that black detailing here. Once I'm done here. And then we're done with the fourth Weirdie of color a Weirdie a day. And some are in front and some are behind. What is for sure is that I will be putting up number 6 on the pay hip today. And that was another question I was going to ask, because I don't like newsletters and emails and stuff. But I think I have the possibility on PayHip to send out a notice to those who have downloaded any of my PDFs previously or bought any of my PDFs that there is a new free page. I don't want to send out when I have a new book that you have to pay for, but I could send out a notice that there is a new free page so that you get an email about that. You know, if you're afraid to miss the post on Facebook or something like that, I could do that. But I sort of, you know, I want to put it out there and ask before I do that, because I don't like to just send out stuff like that, you know. But, you know, I'm thinking that it might be okay if it's something that is for free and it's not something that I'm asking you to buy. Then it might not be as bad as getting those mails from everybody that pretends that it's for free and then they really want you to buy something. I hate that. I'm so much against it. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab my style file black one, because that's the one I have at hand. Otherwise I have to take the box up and look for it again, and don't feel like that. So I'm gonna grab that one. So for the black here, and you might, I want to get close in on the small ones here, so that there will be no white left here. I mean, I could have left it white too, but I want it to be black because it makes those colors pop a little bit more in the little circles. So yeah, you know, let me know if you think that that's an idea. I was thinking maybe to create a poll where people could say yes or no, and then I'll go with the majority, because I really don't want to just send stuff out. But it would be nice, you know, to let people know there is a new free page. You can go in and grab it. I mean, of course, I'll make sure that you know that you can tip if you want, but that's a choice. That's not me asking you to buy anything, because I don't like that. I dislike it. This one you can put it on. Yes, you can. Yeah, this one fits. So I don't know if that would be. Yes, gotta roll with the punches. Exactly. And that's, you know, that's what happens in life. You know, all the stuff that happens. Sometimes it seems that you can't pass the mountain or something, but in reality, it's what will make you who you are, and it will just make you stronger. If it doesn't break you, it will make you stronger. And nothing ever broke me yet. Well, maybe slightly, but not enough for me to give up. And I think that that's the main importance, is that, you know, I get stronger and I keep going. That's the thing, you know, to keep going, keep fighting, and I think, you know, yeah, my daughter has a lot to do with the fact that I am capable of keeping fighting, because maybe if it wasn't for her, maybe, I don't know, maybe things would have looked different. But definitely she gave me a lot to fight for, because just having her in my life is a privilege. Such a beautiful little human, and to think that, you know, this is yours, you know, like your daughter, like your flesh and blood. That's like crazy, you know, that you're that lucky. So yeah, so then you can feel privileged that you have that. So yeah, in that way, I am rich. You know, we will all, you know, when we can look at our lives, it's important that we don't think about what we don't have, but maybe think about what we do have. And it can be small things that we do have that actually makes us rich in some way. It can just be experience, and, you know, it doesn't have to be big stuff. It can be little things. But then when things get bad, maybe try to focus more on those little things to keep you going, and not wallow too much in the things that are not perfect. Maybe just focus on the things that are good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think for some it might be helpful. I think, but I'm not sure, and that's why I'm probably going to create a poll both on Color Weirdie a Day and on my art page, just to see what the general feeling is about it, because I myself, I hate getting spammy emails. And of course, I mean, with the Weirdie a Day, I mean, I put up one for free every day, so it would be like every day. But it would be with a direct link to the free one, not a link just to my page. It would be with a link to that free one. Besides, I think my PayHip is a mess to find anything on. I can't put it into sections. I want to write to them about having an option to put it into sections. But I do know that I could embed them on a website if I made a website. But yeah, I can make a website, but I really don't have enough time to make a website right now. So, and it would be a huge thing to make a website and embed all these books, but then I could make it look exactly what I want it to look like. But I just don't have the time. So maybe one day if I get time, which is something I always say, maybe one day when I get time. Yeah, right, Maria. So anyways, we're done. We're done. So this was a long one. It took actually longer than I anticipated, but we got through 32 colors, and I think that the result is pretty awesome. So now, you know, you see it like this. It's a pretty one. And it's actually also kind of pretty here. When you see it like this, then you just start seeing something else. So yeah, that was a Weirdie of the 4th of January. And I'm happy you guys were with me, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's definitely going to be fun because he's so cute, the dude, the Weirdie dude of tomorrow. He's got, you know, he's got this surprised look on his face, and we can talk about him and make up little stories about his history. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Have a nice evening.